everybody, and welcome to Bloomington Educational Center for tonight's BEC's volleyball action. Lake Red Conference style between the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles, they're the home team, and the visiting Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. I'm Ralph Strangis, and with Billy Wall, we'll bring you all the excitement. First off, let's set the lineups for this evening's game. Jefferson Jaguars will be starting. They will be serving the ball in the person of number 13, Donna Tasto, Debbie Smith, Katie Sunday, Nikki Ruff, Jackie McKisson, and Rhonda Woodgate. Round out the Jaguar lineup. On the other side of the net, we have the Kennedy Eagles dressed in gold and midnight blue and white with Amy Welch, the sophomore, Kelly Brown, Nikki Silverman, Margaret Wilson, Sheila Mansky, and Brenda Richardson. Tasto holding the ball, getting ready to begin a best-of-5 match. First team to win 3 games. And young William, we've got a situation tonight where both these teams know each other quite well. In fact, they've played twice already.
That's right, Ralph. They played twice in tournament play already, and Kennedy has defeated Jefferson. But that was in tournament play. That doesn't mean anything. This is conference play. These games mean a lot to both teams.
In fact, Billy, in the 1986 season, Bloomington Kennedy beat Jefferson twice in tournament play, and then Jefferson beat them in regular season conference play. Now here we go. The ball goes a bit too far for Sunday, and on the side out, it will go to the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles, who will begin with Nikki Silverman at the service line. Nikki serving at 0-0 in game 1. Good dig from the back row by Sunday, and then waiting for her was Mansky. For the Eagles, it's 1-0.
Right now, Ralph, Jefferson's got to control that serve off the bat. You can't get sloppy. They got to get the ball up and get it to the front people.
Silverman. Back row, that's Smith. Now Nikki Ruff setting for Woodgate. Big swing, but went straight to the strings, and so back it will come to zip Kennedy Eagles.
Jefferson got the ball up nicely that time, Ralph. Right now, their big hitter, Jackie McKisson, is right in the middle.
Well, they like to go to her, but that time it was Woodgate who found a spot over Kelly Brown, and it's coming back to the Jefferson Jaguars. Nikki Ruff will go to the service line and serving at 0-2 in game 1. Good dig from the back row. Silverman setting it up in front for Amy Welch, and then a very fortuitous reach there by the Jefferson Jaguars.
It was a great play. It's kind of a reaction move. You can't coach that stuff, Ralph. It's all reaction there. Great play.
One serving to the Jaguars. Nikki Ruff again. Now set from the back. Mansky, ooh, and she unloaded on Nikki Ruff. Handcuffed her, and so it will come back to the Kennedy Eagles, who lead 2-1.
That was just a great set and a nice kill there, Ralph. Came nice cross court. She couldn't even get out of the way of that one.
Senior co-captain Sheila Mansky goes for the ace and misses.
Jefferson, we talked to the coach beforehand. He likes to keep that ball in court, not try to go for that kill shot off the serve, Ralph.
Head varsity coach, of course, for the Jefferson Jaguars is Terry Hunst. He coaches 2 varsity-level sports at the Jefferson School. Basketball as well, and he says, watch for my team this year. As Richardson sends it over. Now Tasto from the back row. Ruff is going to set. Good smash by Smith, and then the Eagles lost it in the rafters. Remember, that's a legal play if you keep it on your side. Again, Smith with a big swing going deep. The Eagles are chasing, but they're not going to get to this one.
Great play on the Jefferson, Ralph. They kept setting the ball up. They played good defense. They got the ball up. On the Kennedy side there, Ralph, I think that ball is a little deep. Their back row people got to communicate.
3-year starter, junior Jackie McKisson delivers the ball at 2-2. And Silverman runs out of room.
Here comes Jefferson's big hitter, Ralph. Jackie McKisson.
3-2, and that time she pounded it to the net. Now the ball will go back over to the Kennedy Eagles. Serving is Amy Welch. Amy's a sophomore starter. Her older sister, Missy, is a co-captain of this Kennedy Eagles squad. Service fault for Amy. And we had a chance to talk to Missy before the game, and I said, okay, are you jealous a little sister out there starting and you're sitting on the bench? And she said, no, of course not. She said, my sister's my best friend, which is nice.
That's the way you'd like to have it, Ralph.
Woodgate at 3-2 Jaguars. Oh, good save by Smith. Back for her, and she sends it deep. Mansky from the back row for Silverman. Richardson coming up to try the dink over the top, and it's 4-2 Jaguars as she was unsuccessful.
Right now, Ralph, no one's really established any momentum.
Rhonda Woodgate at 4-2. Silverman waits for it off the net, and Mansky punches the ball over. Now across for Smith. Good dig by Silverman, back to the front, and they're going to call a double touch there. And so it is 5-2 Jefferson Jaguars. Rhonda Woodgate again.
Great serve.
Welch. Oh, that was 44, not 4, and Richardson fired it into the strings. So 6-2 as the Jaguars are on a bit of a run here.
Seems right now both teams having control, getting control of the ball, Ralph.
Now Amy Welch plays it over. Jackie McKisson, rough, she's looking to set up Smith. Good swing to go cross court, and a nice dig by Richardson. Ball's back to the Eagles side, and a nice play by the Jefferson Jaguars' Shauna Conboy. Shauna's a senior. She had experience last year. Actually, there were 6 players that lettered last season that play for the Jaguars this season. Terry Hunt likes his club. He says it's a building process constantly.
That's right, Ralph. He says 4 years ago they didn't have much of a program when he came in. And he says they're getting better every year, and he says he's got a sharp-looking team this year.
Now Missy Welch, older sister and co-captain, delivers the ball for Kennedy. Smith to the back row. Mansky for Missy Welch again. Richardson with a hook dink over the top, and then ball falls to the floor on the side of the Jefferson Jaguars, meaning the point belongs to Kennedy, and they'll serve at 3-7.
Nice play on the Kennedy side, Ralph. She saw the open court and just tipped it off to the side. No one for Jefferson was around.
They set up Smith again, does Nikki Ruff, and unable to complete the play. It's 4-7. Again, remember, Kennedy is off to a little bit better start than Jefferson, the team in yellow that's serving now. They are 10-3 overall, 0-1 in the conference. And they've also beaten Kennedy twice this season. So Jefferson's quick start is now a bit negated as the Eagles are back again rolling.
But as we've seen so many times, Ralph, volleyball's a momentum sport, boy. You can see it get taken away just like that. You can have it 1 second, it can be gone the next.
McKisson on her knees, Nikki Ruff over for Sunday, and Katie just misses the back line. Remember, we play the whites now. As you're looking at it on your floor, the white line is the out-of-bounds line on your screen. I mean, if you're not looking on your floor, you're not going to see much, of course. Keep your eyes on the TV set because those white lines are the out-of-bounds.
That's right. That's correct. Also, Ralph, we see Kathy McKisson. We've heard a lot about her, and they really haven't gone to her. Debbie Smith has been the big horse for Jefferson. She's the one that they're going to on the side for the kill shots.
Jefferson back, 8-5 now. They lead, and they're serving in game 1. Good move by Richardson to send it over, and I believe that's a good play. It looked like it might have crossed the outside of the mast, but she came back across with it, and the Jaguars were standing looking. McKisson with a great save off the serve, and a couple of Jags collide over there. Nikki Ruff.
It's a tough serve,
and Debbie
Ralph.
Smith.
That last serve was a bullet.
8-6. Rather, it would be 6-8 as Kennedy serves. Oh, I'll get into it any minute here, Bill.
Right.
We'll be
this game's going to be a nail-biter, Ralph. Not either one of these teams taking charge out there.
Debbie Smith deep.
Let's go, James!
Is Welch back for sister, and then they set up Silverman. Now Smith over for the Jaguars. Again, Amy to Missy Welch. Big
Nice
swing by
block.
Wilson, but a good block.
Great block by Shauna Conboy, Ralph. She got way up there.
9-6, Debbie Smith to serve for the Jaguars. Missy Welch looking for Mansky, and a good block to keep it alive. Now Ruff. McKisson. Ooh!
Boy, I tell you, she put that one away.
Jackie saw a little room down that side, and that's a kill. Wouldn't you call that a kill?
I would call that a kill.
And on the kill in a 10-6 lead, the Kennedy Eagles want to talk about it. Kennedy is coached by Lori Johnson. And Lori has been at Bloomington Kennedy High School for, I have it here somewhere. This is her 8th season as a varsity coach. Her best finish has been second in the regions in '84 as you look at the Bloomington Kennedy Eagle huddle. She's also a Phi Ed teacher at Kennedy, and her volleyball experience includes some USVBA at Mankato. Billy, you and I went to the state tournament last year. We saw a lot of exciting action. A guy that's seen some state tournament action as well is here this evening.
That's right, Ralph. He's up in the tower. His name is Ralph Cook. Matter of fact, he's been reffing for 15 years. Figure this one out. There's only been 13 state girls state championship tourneys. So he was even refereeing before the state tourney even came into play.
Did that first one in a blizzard in St. Cloud. He's got some stories to tell, and his partner is Sue Eggleston. She will be on the floor tonight. She has 11 years of experience. So we have a couple of veteran officials for this evening's game. And the Kennedy Eagles are serving, and a big ace delivered.
That was a real big serve right there, Ralph. Gets them right back in the game. They were down by 4 points. They're right back.
Margaret Wilson trying to do it again as she's cut it to 7-10. Goes deep to the other side, and the ball is called out. So on the side out it will come.
I think I shot it right in the drinking fountain.
Substitution coming back into the game for Jefferson to serve is Donna Tasto, and getting a seat on the bench is Shauna Conboy.
Pull it out of the drinking fountain, Ralph. Better check that ball for water.
You wouldn't think she'd have an emery board in her back pocket, would you?
No. Maybe there's such thing as a spit serve?
I don't know. Rough for McKisson. Ooh, and they're waiting for her. It's still a live ball, but no, not as it drops on the Jaguar side. Again, the rule is if it hits the rafters or the ceiling and comes down on your own side, you can continue to play the ball, of course, provided you haven't already had your 3 strikes. But if it drops on the other side, then it's the other side's point. Mansky send it over for Kennedy. Ruff in the front row, and she and Mansky get into a bit of a joust.
She was a little outside there, Ralph.
7 serving 11. As again, Missy Silverman to the service line for Kennedy. Woodgate with a good dig. Now they're trying to set her up, does Ruff. And the ball touched the net. Well, they're going to call Kennedy for a touch.
They're in the net on the block. Boy, but I tell you, Ralph, Jefferson, Jackie McKisson, boy, would you feed her the ball every time? My goodness, she can hit the ball.
Ruff at 11-7. Each game to 15. You must win 3 of them to win the match. Big hit by Mansky, but she sent it about 8 inches over the back line, and it's now 12-7. Nikki Ruff. Ball's deep. Wilson, now Silverman over for Amy Welch.
Great misdirection.
Woodgate. Silverman again up front. Mansky has a wide open shot. Smith, Ruff is going to run underneath the scaffold there of the BEC camera crew. It's wonderful. We're at BEC, on BEC, and we've got both Bloomington schools. I'm caught up in all of this. It's an extravaganza. It's a bonanza. Call it what you like. A festival. Kennedy Eagles watch the ball drop to the floor.
They got themselves a little flat-footed, Ralph. No one took charge on that.
Jackie McKisson can finish it if she can serve 3 in a row. 12-7 Jaguars.
Who else would you want at the line? Well, Ralph, we saw her warming up in practice, and I have to say, even last year, watching the whole state tournament, announcing the state tournament last year, she is the hardest hitter on the front line I've ever seen of all the girls.
I would tend to agree with you, and we saw some good ones. But remember, we talked before the game, Billy, to Terry Hunts, the coach over there at Bloomington Jefferson, and he mentioned to us that the Jaguars have had all kinds of people filling the spots. They actually play with 9 players. They rotate 3 and liberally.
6 returners.
He's got 6 returners, and he also showed us a stat sheet of the Burnsville match where they beat Burnsville in 4, 15-4, 15-13, 11-15, and 15-11. Donna Tasto had an unbelievable serving evening in the 2 games that he showed us the statistics from.
Right.
You agree with that?
I agree with it very much, Ralph, but I think the key to Jefferson to win their conference, to go on in the regionals, right in that girl right there, and Jackie McKisson.
Now Kennedy trying to send it over on the 3rd bump. It's Silverman. Up in the front row, Nikki Ruff. Looks on this side for Smith with a big swing, and Nice save by Mansky in the back row. Richardson, and I believe that one, well, they're going to call it, it is still a live ball. Nikki Ruff again. Smith is going up high. The dink over the front row, but they're still waiting are the Eagles. Silverman again, blocked by Smith. It's back on the side of the Eagles. Amy Welch on her back foot.
Great play by Jefferson in the front line. Great defense. They were getting off their feet, timing it well. They had Kennedy on the run, Ralph. Everything they set up and tried to spike got blocked.
McKisson for the game. It's 14-7, and this time she can't quite connect.
It's a big serve. That's the one that drives coaches batty.
Batty?
Batty.
Amy Welch serving for the Eagles. They trail 7-14 in game one. Woodgate, that one is up for Smith, and she runs underneath the ball. They wanted the dink as their coaches are motioning from the sideline, but again, Debbie was the one out there playing the ball. Now she sets up front. Sunday goes deep. Good play by Kelly Brown, and now Nikki Silverman, and a swing by Wilson. The ball is just out. They will make a substitution now. Coming out of the game is Tasto, and back in is Shauna Conboy.
They're putting a little more height in front of the net, Ralph. See if they can get something a block. Boy, that's a big serve.
Rhonda Woodgate to the net now.
Those are the serves you got to get over. You can't give Kennedy new life. They'll keep coming back at you.
Missy Welch, who ran out 4 straight the first time she served, is serving at 8-14. Good serve. Ruff keeps it alive, but there's going to be nothing doing, and it's 9-14.
Great serve by Amy. Or is that Jody? I'm sorry.
That's Missy.
Is that Missy? Okay.
You got it. Missy Welch. Nikki Ruff now, and it's sent over by Katie Sunday. Richardson.
Great
Good
play
by Woodgate. It's still alive. Sent over by Conboy. Now Wilson for Kennedy. Diving play by Ruff to keep it alive. Sunday from the front row.
Sunday should have took her time. She hurried that shot a little bit. Ball was still going up as she tried to take it.
10-14, the Eagles are closing. 11. Maybe you'll see a timeout, and yes, you will, called by the Jefferson Jaguars. They want to regroup a little bit, does Terry Hunst. His assistant coaches this year, Bonnie Carlson and Todd Carlson. And they've developed quite a program over here at Bloomington Jefferson High School. He's very happy with where he is. Bloomington Jefferson, this is his 4th year for Terry Hunst. And they play in a fairly tough region. They got a couple of tough guns out of this region, Osseo and Armstrong.
That's right. Very good. And Apple Valley.
And Apple Valley.
Apple Valley is very strong too. And he was telling us before the game, those are the 3 teams that are going to give the other teams in the conference the trouble.
Missy Welch serving at 11-14 in game 1. McKisson sent it over. Now Amy Welch for Missy Welch and Richardson. Smith for the Jaguars. Nikki Ruff. McKisson from way back sends it deep.
Great play.
Wilson can't quite complete the relay, but Mansky was on her horse.
Boy, I tell you, she came clear across the other court to get that ball, Ralph. That is great hustle.
Now a chance for Katie Sunday to serve out game 1. It is 14-11 Jaguars. Great first game. Back row, Amy Welch to sister Missy. Up front now, Wilson makes the relay. McKisson, it's lost in the rafters. And Woodgate, Conboy, and the Eagles now must set it. Big swing by Richardson. Woodgate on her knees. Ruff up front. Debbie Smith put it into the net, and it's back over on the side out.
Just timed her jump on that one. That was a tough ball. Ball was going behind her head, and she tried to put it away, Ralph. This is just what I was telling you about. Jefferson had 2 shots to put it away early. Now they're back on their heels. Kennedy's got them on the run.
12-14. Serving for Kennedy, number 44, Brenda Richardson, the senior. Woodgate, Nikki Ruff, Jackie McKisson. Airmailed it.
It wasn't a very good set on the part of Jefferson, and they're going to talk about it right now, Ralph. You got to really give it to that Kennedy team. They're really hanging on. They haven't given up yet.
Well, it was 14-6 at one point, and it is now 14-13, and actually the correct would be 13-14 as Kennedy will be serving to try and even it. Now, for those of you not familiar with volleyball, or the high school level at any rate, they play each game to 15. You must win each game by 2 points. Once you win 3 games, you've won the match. So if, for example, it's tied at 14, one team will have to, much like in tennis, get the advantage and then take the game.
That's right. Ralph, right now what Jefferson has to do, they have to settle down a little bit and get the ball over to Jackie. And give her a good set. They haven't given her many good sets. Right now, this is their time.
Richardson gives Jefferson a golden opportunity. Debbie Smith at 14-13 can still serve for the game. This is the fourth game point that the Jaguars have had. Amy Welch from the back. Missy Welch. Mansky.
Oh.
And McKisson sent it away to the wall.
Jackie shouldn't have been there.
Margaret Wilson serving for the Kennedy Eagles now at 13-14. They're looking to even it. McKisson up high, rough back for Jackie.
Great shot.
Richardson guessed that it was going to stay in.
I think it was too. It was right down towards the back line, Ralph.
Testo and Conboy make their usual changing of the guard, and Donna will come to serve. 14-13, the 5th game point for Jefferson, and again they squander.
You can't do that. Terry's got to be shaking his head over there.
Now a substitution. Kelly Brown comes in, and Missy Welch sits for the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles, who are serving at 13-14 in game 1. Well, last year they had a war just like this in the conference game. 5 games it took Jefferson to beat Kennedy. Kennedy is even this first game at 14.
Right now, Jefferson is forcing to play a little bit, Ralph.
Kelly Brown again. Rhonda Woodgate, Nikki Ruff looking back now for McKisson, but it goes over her head, and they're going to call the Kennedy Eagles for a touch.
Boy, I thought that was Jackie McKisson in the net. I thought her hands got it.
They called Amy Welch, and so Nikki Ruff serving at 14s. Amy Welch, Nikki Silverman, Kelly Brown now for Kennedy.
Nice play, stepped in.
For Sunday. And then Woodgate sent it over.
Bye.
McKisson waiting, and
rafters.
Ball hit the rafters. It's 15-14 advantage Bloomington Jefferson. And the Eagles want to talk about it.
I tell you, Bloomington Jefferson has played well this game. Not on the service line, but basically on the defensive end. On the other end, Kennedy hasn't played that well, and they're in the game right now. So right now, Bloomington Jefferson, this is a mental game right here. They want to take Kennedy here because, Ralph, they've outplayed them at this game.
Not a bad crowd. Again, remember, Bloomington Kennedy's gym is flooded. That's why we're here.
Is that from the flood earlier this?
I don't know. They tell me the gym's flooded. How do you flood a gym? I don't know. I mean, we tried it once in high school, but that was something else. Silverman. Mansky. Jaguars serving for the game. And Jackie McKisson fired it into the net. Okay, I've been updated. A big storm.
The big rainstorm.
The big storm. And not to be confused with any other storm. 14-15. Kennedy trying to even this game up. Ruff up front. Sunday comes over and plays it on the third. Now Silverman for Kennedy. Up front for Amy Welch. Great dink, and Debbie Smith can't get there.
She looked the whole floor over real well, Ralph. Saw over on the right corner there. There was no one standing there. She just dinked it over the net. Nice play.
15 all. And Mansky finds the net. Nobody wants this one.
Well, they're all trying that serve over too hard, Ralph. They got to take that serve and get it over the net. That's their first concern. They're all trying to kill the ball over the net.
Jackie McKisson, 15 all in game 1. First team to win by 2 takes game 1. Silverman. Ooh. Richardson, great extension on the arm. The ball was a bit low.
I was just going to say, Jefferson got this far, playing this well, not on their serve, Ralph, but on their defense and get that ball first serve over the net.
16-15, the 7th game point for the Jags. Just barely over the strings. Amy Welch, Silverman, back for Richardson. Now front row, Nikki Ruff looks for Smith.
Nice shot
of the game.
Great set, great kill, Ralph. Came cross court, found the open seam and drove it home. Great play.
16-14. The Jefferson Jaguars win game one. They'll switch sides. And we will have game two in just a moment. You're watching all the excitement of Lake Red Conference Volleyball, and it must mean your television set is tuned to BEC.
Every hour in this country, 3,600 puppies and kittens are born. One every second. Animal overpopulation is a major problem. Every year, millions of unwanted dogs and cats are destroyed. These loving creatures are not at fault. We are. The simple and sensible answer to halt this needless waste of life is to have your pet spayed or neutered. This message brought to you by this station and the American Humane Association.
Welcome back to the Bloomington Educational Center. Kennedy, Nikki Silverman serving in game two. The Jefferson Jaguars won game one, 16-14. They have played 6 games against each other. Kennedy has won all 6 and 2 matches prior to this one, but the Jaguars were able to get the monkey off the back, as it were, and so lead in a game score by 1-0, but now trail in this second game by the same. McKisson and Nikki Ruff can't quite get it over. For the Jefferson High School Jaguars, Jackie McKisson, Rhonda Woodgate, Nikki Ruff, Katie Sunday, Donna Tasto, and Debbie Smith. The same that opened game one. And Nikki Silverman, who just caught the top of the net, is joined by Sheila Mansky, Brenda Richardson, Margaret Wilson, Kelly Brown, and Amy Welch. Same lineup that started game one as well for the Eagles, who in this half are on the left side of your screen. You look at the Jaguars now, who are dressed in the visiting white jerseys with Columbia blue numerals, piping, and trim. Kennedy Eagles, of course, dressed in their familiar home golds with midnight blue and white trim. McKisson, and as she did in game one, Billy, a key to the Jaguar attack. She put it right down the line and hot.
Yeah, well, I don't think we saw the McKisson that we're going to see these next 2 games, Ralph. We saw a lot of Debbie Smith last game. They seem to be going to her. They didn't get McKisson set up, I don't think, the way they wanted to, but I think we're going to see it for these 2 games. Richardson.
Now Sunday, Nikki Ruff trying to set, and then Woodgate with a good play to send it over. Silverman up front for Mansky, and she set it deep. Now Mansky again comes up to the front row. Richardson rotates back,
Great
and she
play.
and Wilson dive for the ball and don't get it.
A little trick play there, Ralph. They thought they were going to go back over to McKisson, and she took the ball and she saw the hole and tipped it right over. Great job.
Jaguars serving at 3-2. Silverman, it's hard to see the scoreboard from up here, or back here, or wherever we are. Ruff, McKisson, and it hits the arm of Wilson, and it goes 4-2 for the Jaguars.
If you look at Jefferson, Ralph, they look a little more fired up than Kennedy is. They're a little more spunky. They're jumping around, diving. Kennedy looks like they're getting caught flat-footed on it. They haven't got into the game yet.
Donna Tasto at 4-2. Jefferson just over the net. Silverman up front. Mansky mistimed. 5-2 Jefferson Jaguars.
Kennedy needs a roll to pick them up, Ralph. They look a little flat.
Waiting at the net was Woodgate. 6-2 as Rhonda made the play.
Boy, I'd say that's awful close to a carry there.
I would agree.
Those wrists came over the top of the ball.
And off the hands of Brenda Wilson, Richardson dives right below us.
Ralph, notice how Kennedy's doing this, though. They're getting that serve in right away. It's not a kill serve. Jefferson, I'm sorry. Jefferson. It's not an ace serve. They're just getting the ball over, and they're doing it with their defense.
And that's what Terry Hunt said they were going to do. They're looking to serve and volley, and they're doing it exactly the way he said. As in a tennis match where you try and handcuff the defense and then look to set up the next attack. 8-2. The Kennedy Eagles want to talk about it. Terry Hunt's theory is working.
That's right. He likes to see his team work. He says, even when I asked him about going to Jackie McKisson, I says, do you like to go to her a lot? He says, no, we like to go to her. Don't get me wrong and say that. He says, but We like to use the other players too, just as much as her.
There you see the Kennedy huddle.
Right now, Ralph, Lori Johnson has got to get something going with her team. She's got to pick them up somehow. I don't know how she's going to do it, but she's got to get them back in this game because they are really flat. And if they don't watch it, Jefferson's going to walk away with this one.
Donna Tasto at 8-2. She's had 5 straight. Mansky up front. Silverman does well to just play the third hit over. Now they set McKisson.
It's tough to stop that.
9-2. Again, a good serve from Donna Tasto, and it's 10-2.
I'll tell you what happens with Jefferson, Ralph, or with any club. Once you start getting that first serve over and over, and all of a sudden that ball starts finding some seams. And momentum-wise, it picks your team up.
Substitution coming in for the Kennedy Eagles, Sue Weller, number 15. Sue is a senior, and sitting down for the moment is Margaret Wilson. Weller will take her spot on the back row. Donna Tasto at 11-2. Weller, good bump. Set over, and Mansky and Amy Welch collided going for the ball.
Jefferson setting it up real well with the serve right now, Ralph.
Big roll for Weller. She knows she's going to see the ball. And Richardson backs up. It is 13-2, 11 straight points.
We talked to Terry Hunt before the game round. He said Donna was his best server.
And she has got a chance to serve it out here. The momentum and the power clearly with the white and blue clad Jags.
This is a big game, Ralph.
14.
They go up 2-zip. It's awful tough to come back from 2-zip. Kennedy's in trouble.
For game 2 and a 2-0 lead. Weller gets the bump. Amy Welch. Kelly Brown sends it deep for the Kennedy Eagles. Now Sunday. Nikki Ruff. McKisson. Ooh, and Weller sent it right back.
Nice play.
Ruff and Mansky collided, and it will come back to the Kennedy Eagles, who now have another opportunity to at least get back in this one. It is 2-14. Substitution. Weller, who did the job and did it well, will give way to Margaret Wilson.
Sue Weller, I think, was the one who made that big, got the ball back up after Jackie McKisson hit that big spike. That's a big play right there.
And that's a big point for Kennedy, Bill. How often have you and I, who've done some state tournament action and some other games, seen a team, once they get one, they can come right back. 14-3, and that one is just out.
That's true, but it's so important when you're down behind is to make sure you get that serve in and do it and work and do it on the floor.
Nikki Ruff for the Jags again for game 2. Mansky and Richardson can't make it, and the Jaguars are up 2-0. 16-14 in game 1, 15-3 in game 2. And the Jefferson Jaguars, who have in previous meetings not even won a game with the Kennedy Eagles, look like they could make short work of this match.
That's right. We have seen neither team, Ralph, before, and I have a hard time believing that Jefferson got beat. What was it, 2 straight times?
2 straight times, 3 straight games each time.
Because that is a good volleyball club out there. Not taking nothing away from Kennedy. Right now they're playing a little flat. They got some good players too. Right now what they have to do is they have to pick it up. They got to pick themselves up, get their serves over, and start working them over on the front line.
Well, Kennedy, as we talked to Lori Johnson before the game, said that we would see but 6 players, or 7 players rather. She used 8. Sue Weller came in and did a pretty good job filling in, but boy, that Jaguar machine was rolling.
It was. They're hustling all over the court right now. They've got the momentum. Remember how much we talked about it? Momentum. Momentum is half this game right here. A lot of it's mental, but a lot of it's hustle too.
Now, is the camera gonna, well, I guess they're not gonna get us. Maybe they had us, I don't know. See, it's this TV thing. I don't know what it is. But there you see a look at the people that are here this evening. We are on the other end of the bleachers in the corner, but enjoying a pretty good volleyball match as Jefferson and Kennedy played a real close game one, and then Jefferson just put Donna Tasto to the service line and really hummed them. And what else, Billy Wall? We've got Kennedy Eagles, and there you have us. Where am I? I'm here, and there's
You're
Bill, and there's Dave. Dave is our guest statistician from where? From San Diego, California.
We flew him in especially for this.
La Jolla. La Jolla. How do you say it? He came all the way in from San Diego, La Jolla, and he just narrowly escaped that 6.1 Richter scale earthquake a couple of 100 miles north of his area. But at any rate, there you have it. So much fun on BEC, I can't tell you. And now you take a look again at...
Ralph, I'm going to put the spotlight on you. You're Kennedy's coach. What do you tell her? What do you tell your team?
remember history. Remember that this is a team that we can beat. Get out there and play your game.
You're right.
But Jefferson, who gets to serve again in game 3, let's see if Tasto has cooled off at all, as Donna will serve at 0-0 in game 3. Good serve deep. Brown from the back row. Now it's sent over by Margaret Wilson. McKisson setting up. Ruff. And Woodgate just fired it over the top. A good play by Wilson to duck out of the way of that one. And so Kennedy will get to serve.
I think Bloomington thought they got that point, but it was just out on the back line there, Ralph. Notice how organized Jefferson is right now.
Ball touched the net, and so it'll come back. McKisson was waiting for it anyway. Nikki Ruff will get to serve. Nikki Ruff is joined by the Jaguars in game 3 by Katie Sunday, Debbie Smith, Donna Tasto, Jackie McKisson, and Rhonda Woodgate. They are in the white and blue. They're the visitors tonight. Woodgate setting up for McKisson. That time she sent it a bit too far, and so at Love, the server will be for the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles, Sheila Mansky. She is joined by Margaret Wilson, Amy Welch, Kelly Brown, Brenda Richardson, easy for me to say, and Nikki Silverman.
Great serve there by Mansky, Ralph. That's what Kennedy needs to establish, a serving game. They have not established their serving game at all.
Mansky. And that time had problems as well. 0 serving 1 for the Jefferson Jaguars. Jackie McKisson, who threw a few points together in earlier games. And that one scathes the top of the net, and that is a service fault. It goes over to the Kennedy Eagles. Amy Welch, the sophomore. Deep, McKisson waits for it. Set.
Great set.
And Smith, off the set from Nikki Ruff, just set it a bit too far. Amy Welch at 2-0 Kennedy. They started off this way last time at 2-0 and then ran into Donna Tasto, who pretty much put it away. Jaguars wound up winning 15-3, 12 service points for Tasto last time. Substitution into the game for the Jefferson Jaguars, number 25, Jill Haas. And the side out belongs to the Kennedy Eagles.
If I was Lori Johnson right now, I would be telling my girls to slow that serve down a little bit. Let's get that ball over on the first tip. They have faulted. They've got one over and then they fault. And it's crucial. It really is crucial.
Missy Welch into serve. They call it double touch, I believe, on the Jaguars. Welch spelling Kelly Brown. And so at 3-0, Missy, the senior co-captain, delivers the ball for Woodgate. And then Nikki Ruff. Debbie Smith goes cross court, and that one doesn't quite make it over the string.
Let's see now, Ralph. Right now, if Bloomington Jefferson, or Bloomington Kennedy here, can get a couple serves over in a row. They've had really trouble doing that.
McKisson, Smith, and Haas unable to make the play.
That's 2 in a row now for them. Let's see if they can get it to 3.
Timeout called by the Jaguars. They trail 5-0 in game 2, but they lead 2 games to nothing. And you have to win 3 to win the match. Again, the Kennedy Eagles come in tonight a little bit better position. At least overall, their record is 10-3. They're 0-1 in the conference. They lost in 4 games to Rosemont. But they've also had the opportunity, as we mentioned earlier, to beat the Jaguars twice this season in tournaments. Jefferson Jaguars coming in to tonight's action are 8-6 overall. They are 1-1 in the conference. They beat Burnsville and lost to Park Center. Conference just starting, just heating up. Lake Red stuff all over. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, everything is always exciting and always fun. This is a great conference for athletics. 5-0. Missy Welch serving for Kennedy. Now set for Haas. She goes down the line with it. Silverman. And Nikki sent it back to Nikki Rupp. Smith again with a big swing, but Mansky was waiting for it. Ruff again for Jefferson. Left hand shot and a good one by Debbie Smith. And Missy Welch slipped, and the ball goes over to the Jefferson Jaguars. Katie Sunday will serve at 0-5. Amy Welch from the back. Now Mansky back for Welch. Third hit, it's over. Smith with the play, but all 3 dove for the ball, and no one was there at the net.
It's good hustle, though, Ralph. You don't mind losing points like that when you got your whole team there. It's going to happen. As long as your team is moving like that, it's what you like to see as a coach.
Shara Spears now comes into the game for the Jefferson Jaguars. She's been a 3-year player. Started her career on the varsity as a freshman, and she's now a junior.
Once again, Ralph, we're talking about the serve. Brenda Richardson right there. A little bit too much on her serve.
Mansky, look out. And it goes back on the side out.
That's twice Jackie McKisson's come in on her back player sliding in. She's got to give the green light to her back row player. She's got to step out on that, Ralph.
You can only score in this game when you have the serve, and Kennedy owns it. And a good serve, but a great play. Now the Eagles are setting up. Mansky with another big swing, and Debbie Smith can't get there that time.
No, she didn't, Ralph, but I'll tell you what, Nikki Ruff made a great play over on the sideline over there.
6-0 Kennedy. Weird game scores. Ruff for so even a match, really. McKisson fired it to the net, and it comes back over.
Margaret the momentum changing here a little bit, Ralph.
7-0, and as the momentum may change, Terry Hunts doesn't want things to get too far out of control. Terry, of course, of the Jaguar program. Lori Johnson of the Kennedy program on JV. We have Nancy Jimenez and Linda Buccelli also on the coaching staff. They gave me a couple of tongue twisters here. I think I got it. Principal at Bloomington Kennedy High School is Robert Schmidt. Dr. Stever at Jefferson, and of course the AD for both schools, my good friend Sonny Carlson. Great programs to be proud of at both schools.
Both schools, Ralph. Both these schools should be proud of their girls volleyball teams. They played hard out here today.
And we got plenty left. 7-0 in game 3. Kennedy serving. They trail 2-0 in a best-of-5. Missy Welch for Kennedy. Now Mansky sort of misplays it, and Amy Welch sends it over. The Welches are sisters.
Here we go.
Nikki Ruff. McKisson, too far. 8-0.
They're setting her too deep to the net, Ralph. They got to get her up where she's more effective. Right now she's hitting the ball behind her head.
Margaret Wilson with a great serve. And Ruff waiting for the return. And Haas sent it a bit too far as Jill, the senior.
Jefferson really unorganized right now, Ralph.
Jill made an aggressive play, but unable to really get good contact on the ball.
But you got to remember, the reason for that is right now, Bloomington Kennedy getting their serves over. Just as I say it, they hit one deep. That's how they're getting themselves back into this, though. Serves.
Haas out, Tasto in. Donna, as you may recall, had 11 straight in game 2, and boy, could they use them now. 0-9 for Jefferson serving. Amy Welch from the back. Missy Welch now set for Richardson, who went high. Welch for Mansky, and Smith is waiting. Nikki Ruff. McKisson and Richardson for Kennedy. Good dink over the top by Missy Welch. Ruff sends it deep. Missy Welch for Kennedy. Mansky. And that one went a bit too far. The Jaguars are on the board.
Close from being touched by the blockers.
Tasto at 1-9. Richardson for Welch for sister Amy. Now Nikki Ruff for McKisson again. She's deep, but that time got one back playable. Brenda Richardson. McKisson for the Jaguars. And it goes back to Kennedy. They lead 9-1. Coming into the game is Kelly Brown, and Missy Welch will sit down. To the service line goes Nikki Silverman.
Kennedy doing a good job on their serves this game, Ralph. It shows by the score.
Ruff for Woodgate, and Rhonda sent it deep. Silverman up front for Mansky. Debbie Smith waits for it. Nikki Ruff again for the Jaguars for McKisson, and that time 2 in a row, Bill.
Right now, Ralph, the setter, when they put that ball up on the set, they're pushing the ball forward. It's got to go straight up so she can come to the ball. Right now, they're putting her on her back heels.
10-1, Kennedy serving. Tasto from the back row, and Woodgate. Now Mansky for Kennedy, up for Silverman and Amy Welch.
Straight up now. There you go.
McKisson, again too far.
It was a very nice set. Right now, McKisson's in a little slump, Ralph.
Shara Spears contributing on the play for the Jaguars, but they trail 11-1. Now Spears up. Good set by Ruff for McKisson, and Kennedy's waiting. Silverman up front for Mansky, who takes a good swing through the arms of Rhonda Woodgate, who's fuming.
Kennedy playing extremely well right now, Ralph. Setting the ball, they're moving the ball well. They're setting their spikers really well.
12-1. Nikki Ruff from Smith for Woodgate. Good dink over the top. The Eagles are diving but can't make the play.
Notice they're diving now, Ralph. They're getting into it. You see, that's what Kennedy needed to do. They needed to get into a game like that. Diving, feel the floor, jump around, react to the ball.
1-12, Nikki Ruff. And they didn't know if they should play it. Richardson was there, and Kelly Brown maybe could have communicated to her and told her, Bill, is
you
that
bet.
her
Your teammates have got to be talking to you. She's looking at the ball, not the, she can't be looking down at the line.
2-12. Sue Weller back in. Mansky sits this time, and Weller to the service line, 12-2.
Last time Weller came in, Ralph, she did a great job.
And the senior delivers the ball deep. Smith, third strike, and swing by Shara Spears, but you have to really have things going your way to get a play like that.
I just tell you, Kennedy looks so sharp right now, Ralph. They've got their people that are serving the ball together, and they're making the plays right now.
Weller, good serve. Ruff for the Jaguars. McKisson, that one's out. There's Jackie McKisson doing what she does best.
That's right. She wasn't on her back heel. She came right through the ball, over the top of it.
I need one of those portable cushions for my seat. Is there any chance we can do that? McKisson.
Great serve.
3-13.
She put a little topspin on that, Ralph. That thing found the gap right there.
You're never out of a volleyball game because you can score as long as you have the ball only. And 2 straight points give the Jaguars a little bit of life. 4-13 as McKisson again will go to the service line.
Jefferson going on a, we'll say, small roll right now, Ralph.
McKisson just a junior, Bill.
Gonna be a good one.
3-year starter.
She is a good one.
Richardson, another good one as Brenda found the alley.
I tell you right now, Kennedy setting up their corner hitters. Just nice, Ralph.
Smith for the Jags. Amy Welch for Silverman. Margaret Wilson. Now Ruff for Debbie Smith again, and they didn't set her quite right. It's 14-4. Kennedy has a big chance to cut the game score to 2-1.
Right now, Debbie Smith was running around a little bit there, Ralph. She didn't have time to set herself up.
McKisson from the back row for Nikki Ruff. Debbie Smith. Nice play by Weller from the back line, but I don't know, maybe it would have been out.
I think it was out, Ralph. But that, once again, that's a tough play to make. You don't have time to sit there and look at the line. That's reaction.
And you always enjoy someone who will go for the ball and not watch it.
You got to play it if it's close.
Oh, look at this. They brought me a cushion. I can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Boy, do they take care of you, don't they?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you. I mean, you say something, there it is. Woodgate at 5-14. Jaguars trying to fight back. They just need one game, and Smith makes it 6-14. And as well, Billy, as Kennedy has played, 7-14. As I was blocked from the scoreboard, my capable statistician, David Carlson, filled me in. You know, you say as well as Kennedy has, but now they change it back. It is 6. Well, what's going on over here? It's 6-14, but as well as Kennedy has played, if they can string something together, I mean, this match could be over in this game.
That's right. That's why it's so important when you have game point to get that serve over. Don't go for the ace. Just get it over and something's bound to happen.
7-14. Eagles Margaret Wilson, and diving from the back row, Rhonda Woodgate, who couldn't get there. 14-7, Eagles serving for their game point again. Missy Welch coming in, and the co-captain of the Kennedy Eagles serving for game 2. McKisson, rough sets, and Spears gives the Eagles game 1 as a good serve by Missy Welch. Their first game, that is game 3. I'll get it right. Game 3, it's 2-1 as the Eagles get their first game. Oh, I'll tell you, more fun than human beings ought to be allowed to have. Volleyball, Lake Red Conference style on BEC.
This is Mike's car. He had just graduated from high school. He led it in football, hockey, and baseball. Mike was a member of the Student Council and the National Honor Society. He had a promising future with his father's company. One thing killed him: alcohol. Students Against Drunk Drivers. This message produced by TV Productions HTC South Campus.
We're back at Bloomington Educational Community College Center. What is it? Bloomington?
I don't think we're at a college, Ralph.
It's an educational center. I've got it. The Bloomington Educational Center. You see Missy Silverman serving in the game 4. It is 0-0. The Kennedy Eagles and the Jefferson Jaguars, and the ball will go over to the Jefferson Jaguars. Great diving attempt by Missy Silverman, who has joined in game 4 on the field, on the court. Where are we? This is volleyball. By Kelly Brown, Amy Welch, Margaret Wilson, Sheila Mansky, and Brenda Richardson. They are in gold, midnight blue, and white. Serving now is Mansky for the Kennedy Eagles. Still 0-0 in game 4, and now they're going to call a carry on McKisson. It's 1-0. Jackie McKisson is joined for the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars by Rhonda Woodgate, Nikki Ruff, Katie Sunday, Donna Tasto, and Debbie Smith to begin game 4. The Jefferson Jaguars won the first 2 games, and Kennedy won the 3rd game. And so now Mansky is serving at 2-0, and McKisson tried one, but it went through her hands, Bill.
Yeah, Ralph, we saw the first 2 games. Mansky was hitting the ball awful hard into the net. The 3rd game she came on, she started getting the ball over. It seems like her serve is starting to come on now, and this is a tough serve.
This is a big game, too. 3-0. Silverman up front. Amy Welch has it blocked by Rhonda Woodgate. And now on the 3rd strike, on her knees, Brenda Richardson unable to complete the play. And the Jefferson Jaguars will send Nikki Ruff to the service line. Nikki playing a good match.
Yes, she is, Ralph. She's playing a very good match, hustling all over the court.
Richardson, and McKisson reaches with the left arm and sends it back. Now set up front for Amy Welch.
I'll tell you, Jackie McKisson made that play look very easy, but that wasn't a very easy play to do. She just reached out. If she doesn't hit that ball, it goes in the open court. Goes to Kennedy.
1 serving 3 for the Jaguars. Silverman, Richardson, ooh, my.
Great shot. That was in, too.
You see her wind up on that ball?
I'll tell you, Richardson and Mansky playing really well for Kennedy right now, Ralph.
Sophomore Amy Welch serving for the Eagles at 3-1. Ruff. Oh, and Richardson up to joust at the net. And the Eagles.
There was a little miss, as they say in basketball, there was a little mismatch at the net, Ralph. It was like a guard and a center.
4-1 as Welch serves again. Good play by Ruff to send it over. Brown for Silverman for Richardson again, and eyes open, put it over the top row.
She's using her head right now. Jefferson on the back of their heels when she goes up, thinking she's going to spike. She just taps it over the net. She had everybody fooled.
Welch at 5-1. Ruff setting up, and Smith down the line. Amy Welch from the back. Now they're setting for Richardson, who just knocks it deep. Nikki Ruff for the Jaguars. McKisson pushes the ball over the top. And Silverman for the Eagles for Margaret Wilson. McKisson there. Good rally. Woodgate. And the Eagles are still alive as Silverman plays it deep. Now Ruff again. McKisson for the Jaguars. Eagles setting up. Margaret Wilson, and McKisson reaches with the left hand for Ruff, and back for Jackie. And Amy Welch is handcuffed on the back row, and the Jaguars get the ball.
I was getting tired watching that. Can you imagine being out there?
Can you imagine talking through that?
Oh, your neck could get a little sore, I think.
1 serving 5 for the Jaguars in game 4. They lead 2-1 in a best of 5. Oh, and Rhonda Woodgate, the beneficiary of a good net roll.
Top spin.
How do you teach that, Billy? You've been a volleyball coach at many levels.
That's the hardest thing in the world to teach, Ralph. That's called, I guess you'd have to call a little luck on your side.
Okay. Silverman for Margaret Wilson for the Eagles, and McKisson moving over, can't get there.
I guess the best thing you'd say, Ralph, is hustle. Both teams are hustling well right now.
Kennedy Eagles sending back in Missy Welch and also Jody Elder, the sophomore.
You can see right now, Ralph, Kennedy Eagles a little more organized. He's the third game there. They're starting to get it together.
Elder, that's why they had her in there. Maybe. Now Welch. Richardson takes a hop off the top and up off the basketball apparatus, net, rim, backboard, everything that's hanging from the ceilings, and so it is 6-2 Missy Welch.
A little misfortune for Bloomington Jefferson there, Ralph.
Missy Welch goes down the line with it. Ruff from Tasto for Debbie Smith, and she comes cross court. Mansky setting for Ruff again, and Margaret Wilson unable to make the play.
I talked to both coaches, Ralph, before the game, and they were saying there's a lot of mental thinking in this game. Plays like that, not going for the big hit, you're off balance, just get the ball over and get back on defense. You saw the last game, Bloomington Jefferson, they lost it a little bit at the end. They weren't thinking right. You got to get it together.
6 serving 2. Brenda Richardson unloads one, and Woodgate back on her heels makes the play. Smith down the line. Richardson up front for Mansky. Now Debbie Smith for Nikki Ruff. Back for Smith. Big swing, and Richardson's there. It's off the girders. But great volleyball.
Great volleyball on both ends, Ralph. Just a great set on the Jefferson side. Smith just put that ball away.
2 serving 6 for Katie Sunday of the Jaguars. Mansky, deep, McKisson up front. Margaret Wilson and McKisson with a good dig. Woodgate now for the Jaguars, sends it up for Smith. Great play by Richardson of the Eagles, and now unable to complete.
I'll tell you, it was a great play by Richardson, Ralph. She came down and dug a ball on her stomach, got the ball up. Another one of her teammates hit it, and she got back on her feet again. Great hustle.
3-6, Richardson from Missy Welch. Debbie Smith just reached for it. And now sends it over from McKisson. Mansky. Richardson from the back row. Welch for Mansky again. And a good play by Sunday as Woodgate now for Debbie Smith. Elder. Third hit is over by Margaret Wilson. Long rally, McKisson. Who's going to be the more patient? They're setting up Mansky again, and that one, I guess, is still live, as they say it was blocked back. Smith through the block, and Richardson makes the play up for Margaret Wilson. Smith again, pushes it deep, and a long rally belongs to the Jaguars. Great point.
That's what I tell you about mental, Ralph. You got to be thinking out there. Smith saw the whole court. She didn't go up for the spike. She came across court where the open spot was and got the point. Great play.
4-6. Jaguars looking to get closer. It's 5.
See how a play just like that, Ralph, can get a team going the other way. Now the momentum's with Jefferson right now, Ralph.
Katie Sunday at 5-6. Richardson, now Missy Welch, setting up Mansky again, and she may be a bit tired.
She is. She's been doing a lot of jumping in that front net. Richardson and Mansky doing a lot of the work for Kennedy, Ralph.
6 apiece in game 4. Amy Welch for sister Missy. And Jody Elder goes up against Shauna Conboy. And the ball hops fortuitously for the Jaguars.
I think Missy would like that one back, Ralph. I think that was just a miss hit.
Timeout will be called by the Eagles. Boy, I'll tell you, when it looked like the Eagles were getting right back in it, they lost game 1 and game 2 quite decisively. Then in game 3, they came back and won.
You bet. They pulled it together. They started thinking. They started hitting the open court. This game isn't all spike either. It's where the positioning of the ball and reacting. And they were doing it well. Now they're slipping a little bit. On the other hand, though, you got to give it to Jefferson. They look a little sluggish in game 3. And they started out sluggish in game 4 here.
And they trailed 6-0 and now lead 7-6. So it's been a back and forth kind of series so far. Kennedy Eagles have played the Jefferson Jaguars twice this season and have won both previous meetings 3 games love. But Jefferson, well, it's a different story tonight, and they're playing it in Kennedy's home territory, which doesn't mean much because the Kennedy gym is flooded. This is a neutral site, so I don't think you could say a home court advantage would occur.
I think it was a great timeout by Lori Johnson, Ralph. Like you said, they looked a little tired. I think they'll pick it up here now.
Sheila Mansky goes deep. Jags lead 7-6, and now sent over by Debbie Smith. Eagles setting up. Elder for Mansky again.
Great play.
Jags lead, but the Eagles own the ball. 6 serving 7. Margaret Wilson will take her place at the service line.
Mansky mixing up real well, Ralph. Instead of coming across court, she comes back down the line.
Ball is out, as called by Ralph Cook. Sue Eggleston is his partner. 26 years of volleyball officiating between the two.
It's deep.
And 7-6 again. They've swapped side outs. Silverman and Brown.
This is an important stage of the game right here, Ralph, at 7-6. See if someone can make the move.
Missy Silverman to the service line. Kelly Brown up front. Now Nikki Ruff. Ooh, big shot.
Boy, I tell you, that was a great play, though, on the back line by Richardson to even get a piece of that ball.
McKisson had it coming fast.
That's what Jefferson's got to do. Setting it up with Jackie there. She's their big hitter.
7-6, Donna Tasto, who had a great run early. Maybe she can get it going again. It's 8-6.
Kennedy got to tighten it up right now. Don't let this one slip away.
Oh.
I was just going to say Jefferson, on the other hand, Ralph, has got to concentrate on that serving line. Don't lose your point on your serve. Lose it on a volley, if anything.
Sheila Mansky at 6-8 in game 4. Nikki Ruff setting for Rhonda Woodgate, and the ball comes right back. 4 strikes they will call, as it was not blocked. It merely made contact with the net. 7-8, Eagles closing.
Mansky's serve coming on strong now, Ralph.
Good deep serve, but it's out.
Ooh.
So Nikki Ruff takes over for the
Jags.
Jags.
That was close being hit by Katie Sunday there, Ralph. Thought maybe she caught it with her sleeve.
Go Jags! Richardson.
Great shot. There's a hole formed right behind the 2 top people, and she drove it right over the top of their fingers.
Airmailing another one was Amy Welch. 8-7, the Jaguars still lead. Jackie McKisson going to the service line, the 3-year starter, the junior, sends it over. Richardson with a good bump. Now they play it on the 3rd strike, does Margaret Wilson. Jaguars setting for for Debbie Smith. Now McKisson for Sunday. Rhonda Woodgate took a swing at it, but she came down as the ball went up.
Big miss. These teams are swapping side outs right now, Ralph. This is a good volleyball game. They're both playing well defensively right now.
Jody Elder and co-captain
Good serve.
Missy Welch, who made a great serve to tie this game.
Got to be careful now on this serve. That was awful close from hitting the net. I would make sure this ball got over the net.
Missy Welch, we're even at 8 in game 4. Eagles need it to tie the series. Good swing by Smith. They call it out, but well, I guess it is out. 9-8. I thought perhaps it made contact with one of the Eagle players. Missy Welch again at 9-8. Great serve, but it comes right back from Chasto. Now Richardson with a big swing from the front row. And the ball bounces around. Chasto tried to get out of the way because she was the one who sent it to the roof.
Kennedy setting up real well right now, Ralph. They're getting it over to their hitters in the corner. Richardson, and she's just driving it and putting it away.
Timeout is called by the Jefferson Jaguars.
Remember, all that is being set up, too, by the serve, Ralph. Jefferson doing everything they can just to keep the ball, get the ball over the net off the serve.
Well, you're watching, of course, high school volleyball on BEC. Great seasons in progress. Cover a lot of the other fall and winter sports, and a lot of coverage on the Kennedy Eagle football team and the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguar football team as well. So keep watching BEC. This season, we've got the state champion Bloomington Kennedy Eagles, and of course their conference rival, the Jaguars. So keep watching BEC.
Jefferson looking a little confused right now, Ralph. Now they're the ones that got to pull it together. This thing's going to get away.
Missy Welch at 11-8. Tasto from the back row for Ruff. Now Smith comes down the line.
Great
with it.
spike.
Welch up front for Richardson. Good jink. Ruff is there, but boy, Nikki went right to the floor.
I'll tell you, Richardson, great job of thinking over there. She had a chance to spike it, but caught out of the corner of her eye, the open court over there. He tipped it over.
Ruff right up. And Wilson sent it deep. Jaguars have another chance. They'll be serving at 8-12. Rhonda Woodgate. Now also coming in, Shauna Conboy.
Wilson should have took her time. She had a little more time on that one, Ralph.
Rough for Margaret Wilson. We had a touch called on the Kennedy Eagles, though. If you make contact with the net, well,
Kennedy
I guess they called it on the Jags because the ball's coming to the Eagles.
Kennedy doing a little fake move there, Ralph. They're faking to the outside, and someone was going to step right in the middle. Oh my!
Richardson went for the kill. Did Brenda.
They're playing so well on defense and offense right now. I would just get that ball over.
Welch for Wilson. Now Smith for the Jaguars. Deep for Amy Welch. Richardson again up front for Elder. Her left hand sends it deep. Nikki Ruff looking for Smith. Goes through the block. And a touch called on the Kennedy Eagles. The ball belongs to the Jaguars at 9-12. They're close.
I think Margaret Wilson got too close there, Ralph, that time.
Bumped up and off the basketball. Boy, these things have come into play.
Well, I think it's evened out on both teams, though. Jefferson had one before, and now that happened to Kennedy. It's a bad break, but
10-12. First game was 16-14 Jaguars. This one is as close as that one. The other two have been one-sided for either team.
Right now, Jefferson's slipping a little offensively, Ralph. They've had some great, nice sets. They're just having executing on the tail end of it.
Margaret Wilson finds the net again. Billy, you mentioned it. Putting the ball in play is crucial.
It's so crucial right now, too, Ralph, because Kennedy is playing so well offensively. They're setting the ball up. Just get the ball over.
Smith serving at 10-12. And the ball comes off the net. It's 11-12. The Jaguars are closing in.
Seeing a great game here, Ralph. Seesaw battle.
Debbie Smith. Margaret Wilson. Good play by Elder just to get to the ball at all.
Kennedy needs a timeout, Ralph.
It is even at 12. They're going to send back into the game number 15.
That was a
Sue Weller.
good substitution. Margaret wasn't playing real well at the time. I think she needs to get out there and get her composure back.
Weller with a good bump. Richardson looking to set up Elder.
You need a timeout, Ralph. You just got to get them set up again.
Another substitution. Elder sets. Silverman comes back in. 13-12. The Jaguars take the lead for the first time in this game.
Good serve. Good deep serve.
Weller right back. Conboy sent it over for the Jaguars. Now up in the front row.
Ooh,
Mansky
close.
pushes it over with two hands. Now she takes the big swing. And a third time she makes the play.
Mansky doing it all that time for Kennedy, Ralph. Great job. But on the other end, look at Jefferson. They're back into it now. They're diving. They're jumping around. They're staying organized.
12-13, another substitution. Missy Welch out, and back in is Kelly Brown. They've got their original starting lineup in the game, save Sue Weller.
There it is. They got that serve over. That's important.
12-13, Eagles looking to tie the game up, and they got it.
Simple as that, isn't it? Get the serve over. Let your offense do the work.
Nikki Silverman, we're tied at 13 in game 4. The Eagles win, we have a 5th game. Jags win, it's
Look
over.
out.
McKisson, Richardson was waiting for it. Silverman over for Mansky. Woodgate from the back row. Nikki Ruff. Good play by Brown. Silverman again for Mansky, who just opts to play it over and safe. Nikki Ruff, short set, quick set, and a long kill by Conboy.
I tell you, if I was Jefferson, they had the perfect time to go to Jackie McKisson, and I would have just went to her, Ralph, because we know how hard she can hit it.
They tried the decoy move on the short set to Shauna Conboy, and it was unsuccessful. Conboy had some court, but just hit the ball a bit too long. The adrenaline's running high, I guarantee you that. 14-13, the Kennedy Eagles are serving to try and tie this match with the Jefferson Jaguars at 2 games apiece to force a 5th game.
We're seeing some great volleyball, Ralph, in week 8 of the schedule here.
No strike, at least.
No snap. They could. And oh, talk about a big serve.
Silverman.
That's almost a strategy move by Jefferson, Ralph, to take that timeout, put that girl Silverman back in their huddle, and make her think about it for a while.
Guess who's on the line for the Jaguars? Donna Tasto.
Who would you want there?
Donna Tasto.
You bet.
13-14. Jaguars serving. Tasto, good serve. Richardson now. Silverman up front, and Brown can only play it over. Jags looking to set up, but ooh, miscommunication on the floor, and it comes back to the Eagles.
It's so important to communicate. Call the ball out loud. Right there, Jackie should have just backed off and gotten her spike spot.
Watch Mansky take the big swing at the ball. That time she just puts it in play. 14-13, Eagles can even the series. Silverman. Ooh, and Amy Welch.
Here we go.
Now Ruff, McKisson.
That's what she's got to start doing, Ralph, is starting to get over to her spot. She's coming to the ball too fast off the defensive play.
Nikki Ruff, the setter, serving at 13-14. Now Silverman up front, and Richardson takes a good look. It's still alive. Ruff's on the floor, but the third one's over by Debbie Smith. Now Silverman again for Richardson. Another Jenkins. Boy, eyes open all the way, Billy. Vision. Boy, can she see it.
She's seeing the whole court right now, Ralph. Just what I said. She's using her head.
14-13. Amy Welch serving to tie it at 2 apiece. That's the 3rd time they've been able to try it. Good deep shot by Sunday. Now it's set for Richardson. She looks and gets it again. Heady play by Richardson. Evens this match at 2 games apiece.
That was just a great play. It almost looked like a carry, but it wasn't. A nice tip. And poor Nikki Ruff, she's seen 2 balls fall in front of her over there on that side. It's just, she's got to cover the backside, and it's a do-or-die situation.
Teams will swap sides, and we will be back in just a moment for the exciting Game 5 between the Jefferson Jaguars and the Kennedy Eagles. High school volleyball, Lake Red Conference style on BEC.
Captain Hart here with some good tips to help you stay healthy and live longer. Smoking is bad for your heart and your lungs. Makes you liable to catch other diseases, too. For your body's sake, don't smoke. Shazap! Out, you dastardly fiend! Your heart is the motor that keeps your body's machine running smoothly. Help your heart. Help yourself to a healthy life. A message from your American Heart Association.
Donna Testo holds the ball. It is 2 games apiece. 5th game coming, the deciding one between the Jefferson Jaguars and the white and blue. They're serving. They will have the first chance to score. And the home team, the Kennedy Eagles, in gold, midnight blue, and white. Now Debbie Smith up for Nikki Ruff. Jackie McKisson, and a great diving save by Brenda Richardson. I'm Ralph Strangis along with Billy Wall. And Billy, this one is starting just like the other ones have been played.
That's right, Ralph. We're going to see a lot more of Jackie this game. I think that's what Bloomington Jefferson strategy's got to do, is go to her in the front line, because if she can hit the ball like that, there's no way Kennedy's going to stop her.
Silverman for Kelly Brown. Donna Testo for Nikki Ruff. Little indecision, but Smith plays it over. Now Silverman again for the Eagles, tipped over by Mansky. Donna Testo directs it back. And Silverman again. Mansky with a big swing and a big block, but it is just wide, and the Kennedy Eagles will be serving. Jefferson Jaguars are sending to the floor this time Woodgate, McKisson, Ruff, Tasto, Smith, and Sunday. Silverman is serving, is Nikki, for the Kennedy Eagles, and will set that team after this point. Now Silverman comes up. Kelly Brown plays it over. Smith. Woodgate for McKisson. And the Jags will get it back. Kennedy Eagles send in Mansky, Richardson, Amy Welch, Kelly Brown, Silverman, and Margaret Wilson. Nikki Ruff serving for the Jaguars. They lead 1-0 in the deciding game of a best-of-5 match. 4 strikes called on.
They called a double hit. They said it went off both girls.
2-0 Jags. Silverman for Amy Welch. Woodgate up in the front.
Here
Nikki
we go,
Ruff
Ralph.
now. McKisson. And they're waiting for her is Margaret Wilson. Smith. Welch from her back foot sent it over. Nikki Ruff again. And left-handed dink shot by Woodgate. Mansky. Woodgate sets it, does Rhonda. Now Nikki Ruff for McKisson again. And down the alley she goes. Richardson reached but couldn't get there.
Well, hopefully Jackie's starting to read that shot. It's been there all game. That shot right down the middle, Ralph. Notice how well they're setting right now, Jefferson. You have to hand it to Kennedy, though. They're staying organized out there. That's important.
Oh, good play, but not quite enough room over on the side for Kelly Brown as Silverman went to her knees to make the play. It's 4-0.
It's important in this last game. There's a lot of pressure, and who takes the momentum right away?
Mansky with a big swing. It danced off the strings and down to the floor. And so at 0-4, and me falling out of my chair here, we will see the Kennedy Eagles serving to try and get on the board again. Sheila Mansky. Nikki Ruff setting for Katie Sunday. Now Silverman up for Richardson. Punches the ball over the net. Nikki Ruff again for McKisson. Ooh, and the splits by Mansky puts the ball up, and now Amy Welch for Kennedy.
I want to tell you, Ralph, that Mansky, that was a great shot. Oh, that looked like a carry. But both officials saw that one clearly and didn't see any foul.
McKisson at 4, Love in Game 5 for the Jaguars. Amy Welch. Now the Jags setting up. There's Smith going deep. Richardson for Silverman. Jaguars Tasto, and Donna sets it for Ruff, and now Smith with a big swing. Off the rafters. Good save by Mansky, and she sent it over.
Great defense by Kennedy, Ralph.
And over into the scaffold. You know, sometimes you'll get a break on something like that, and they'll let you play it again if the camera or something interferes. The scaffold was there, but good play by Ruff. It is 4-0, 0-4 Kennedy serving. Debbie Smith goes up, and it comes right back over from Margaret Wilson. Now Nikki Ruff for the Jaguars, falling to the floor, and I heard skin burn on that floor. These girls are diving.
They're into it right now, Ralph. This is a big game.
McKisson for Ruff. She goes deep.
Oh, great play by Nikki. That's a great athletic move, Ralph. That ball is up in the air, and she just got a finger on it.
Rhonda Woodgate at 4-1. Good play by Mansky. Brenda Richardson. Smith keeps it alive, and Jill Haas now sending it over.
After twice in a row the game before, I think Bloomington Jefferson's starting to smell that shot out a little bit. They're starting to cover that corner.
5-1, Rhonda Woodgate serving. Good serve, handcuffs Richardson, and it bounces around. Diving play to get the ball by Sheila Mansky. But
so important to get a good start, jump out. Kennedy's got to play catch up now. I'll tell you another thing that happens too, Ralph. You get jumping out on a start like that, you can start unwinding on your serves a little bit. You can get a little careless on your serves.
6-1. Woodgate now serving, and oh, Rhonda. I thought it was 7-1, and I was going to say that, but they finally did make the adjustment. 7-1 on the board. It will be 1-7 when the Eagles serve. Kelly Brown sits, so Missy Welch can come in and join Sister Amy and the other four.
I was just going to say, Ralph, it was a big serve. Get that ball over and get the momentum back on your side.
Welch comes up to set for Richardson, who can't quite do it. Comes back to the Jaguars. Katie Sunday at the service line, 7-1. Jaguars, who won the first two, lost a little momentum in losing the second two, but got back a little bit.
Ralph, the thing that got Kennedy back into these last three games has been the play of Mansky and Richardson. Now we're not seeing them at the front line anymore. Kennedy's got to look to go to the corners again and set them up and start spiking it.
Brenda Richardson makes it 2-7, and she will serve again. McKisson, great play to put the ball over. Welch now, they're setting up. But Silverman has to reach for it as it was a bit over her head.
Yeah, that was all developed by a great play on the other side, though.
Timeout called by the Kennedy Eagles.
And a good one at that. They're getting a little disorganized, Ralph.
Game 5. Again, we mentioned, to run it down for you, the first game was 16-14. The Jaguars won a nail-biter. Then behind Donna Tasto and 11 straight service points, really belted the Eagles, 15-3. They were up 2 games love, and it looked like they might take it easily. But then Kennedy came back strong, 15-7 in Game 3. In Game 4, we had another close one, a 2-pointer in favor of the Kennedy Eagles, 15-13. And now in Game 5, the Jefferson Jaguars own the ball, and they are serving at 7-2.
There we go, great play.
Now sent over by Nikki Ruff.
Great offense and defense right now by both teams, Ralph. They're playing, they're moving the ball well, they're getting back in position.
Jill Haas sent it to the corner, and it's set now for Mansky again. And ooh, did she find a seam.
And that's how they got back in this game, by going to Mansky and Richardson in the corner. They played good defense and got the ball. Good transitional game, Ralph.
2 serving 7.
Great play.
And Mansky opens her eyes again. Well, we've had some great plays from both sides of, and particularly from the Kennedy side, of just great court awareness. Now the Jags get another chance. Donna Tasto will come in to serve. Jill Haas gets a seat on the bench next to coach.
I tell you, Ralph, if I had to pick a player of the game for Bloomington Jefferson, it'd have to go to Nikki. Nikki Silverman, that is.
Well, we'll tell the Chevrolet executives about it.
I think so.
And a scholarship will be, of course, forthcoming in her name.
Out of your pocket?
I don't know. No, not out of my pocket.
If you have to go to Bloomington Kennedy side, it'd have to be a double one with Richardson and Mansky. Boy,
but
they
Billy,
played a whale of game.
As a coach, you know how well that this is a team sport.
You bet.
3-7. Eagles trying to get back. That one's going to be tough, but Silverman makes the play, and then Mansky sent it over. Now, Nikki Ruff for McKisson. And Jackie's big drill is handled in the back row. Mansky again. Tasto sent it over. Great volleyball as Silverman now setting up Mansky again. Dinks over the top, and Nikki Ruff was waiting. They keep it going. Third strike, and Smith keeps things alive for the Jaguars. Silverman for Amy Welch. Debbie Smith now, and Nikki Ruff setting up Jackie McKisson again. Richardson from the back row. Mansky with the left hand, and oh my! It's still alive.
And
McKisson gets the point. Now she fired it into the body of her teammate. Bill, is that not an illegal play to have the ball come off your chest?
No, it isn't, Ralph. As long as she did get her arms involved in it all. It hit her once, and it didn't hit her at any part of the arms. And the ball went straight up.
One of the wildest volleyball plays you'll ever see. Keep that one on file, gentlemen.
That was a big point, too, Ralph.
Richardson for the Eagles. Big left-handed swing, and
great play by Silverman.
Kennedy gets the ball back on the side out.
Oh, excuse me, that was Kelly Brown. That was a nice play. What I said before, Ralph, I meant Nikki Ruff for Bloomington Jefferson. She's played a whale of a game.
What did you say, Nikki?
Silverman for Kennedy.
And I didn't even correct you.
I know. I said Nikki Silverman for Bloomington Jefferson.
Been here too long. See, I don't listen to you. I don't pay attention. 4-7, the Eagles are marching. Good serve, it's 5-7.
You shouldn't toss me so much, Ralph. This game's getting heated up now, Ralph. We're getting right back. Kennedy's got the momentum right now.
Sheila Mansky, co-captain at 6-7.
He's got to call timeout.
Now they'll try a substitution first. Katie Sunday will come in. And leaving the volleyball game, Shara Spears.
You'll notice we see a lot of that, Ralph. When some team is getting on a roll, they usually go with the substitution first. And if that doesn't work to break it up a little bit, then they'll go with the timeout.
Mansky has been awesome. This time a bit deeper and too deep.
She got him back in it, though.
7-6 in game 5. The Jaguars are serving. And a substitution. Out goes Tasto. Woodgate goes to the front row. And Jackie McKisson at the service line at 7-6 for the Jaguars. Good play by Sheila Mansky. Now Nikki Silverman up. Whoa, and Richardson's shot is blocked by Woodgate and Sunday.
Real nice block. They timed it well. Richardson on the other end. She had a real nice spike there, Ralph, but not enough.
8-6. 9-6.
That one just missing the top of the net. I think she'd like to get this one a little deeper.
Great match. Jackie McKisson at 9-6. Oh.
She's only a junior, remember, too, Ralph.
3 years of varsity experience for Jackie, and I'm sure she looks forward to the rest of this season and next year. The sophomore, Amy Welch, serving for Kennedy.
Great
diving play by McKisson. Smith gets to the ball to send it deep, and then Amy Welch from the back row. Now Silverman on the relay for Margaret Wilson.
Great play!
Nikki Ruff heads up.
Debbie Smith should have took her time a little there, Ralph. Rushed it a little bit too much.
Rhonda Woodgate with a winner.
I'll tell you, that was a great shot. She came from the middle. She did not have time to square up to that ball. She took that on the run. Their body turned sideways to the net.
And now pumped up, she'll serve at 9-7, but it goes back to the Eagles. Missy Welch comes in to serve. Kelly Brown will sit for the Kennedy Eagles.
You look over at Terry Hunt, and he's just buried his head. That serve is so important.
7 serving 9. McKisson for Nikki Ruff. Look out, here comes Smith, and it's kept alive by Richardson. Now Sunday setting Smith up again, and they're waiting for her for a cross, or the Eagles. Richardson over the top. And
over the line.
Boy, great hustle though by both clubs. And now it is 8-9. Missy Welch can even it. McKisson from the back row. Up for Nikki Ruff. And now Jackie again, directing it deep. Sheila Mansky. Welch for Richardson, and the Jaguars are waiting for her. Haas sends it deep, does Jill. Missy Welch again. Silverman, and Haas is up there waiting. Left-handed attempt by Margaret Wilson to tie the game, but it comes back to the Jaguars. They lead 9-8.
Big point.
Katie Sunday serving in game 5. Missy Welch, Margaret Wilson, and McKisson. Look out! Woodgate waited.
Oh, nice try.
Debbie Smith, junior hitter, ran out of room on the near side.
You just feel the energy here, Ralph. This is a nip and tuck game. Both teams trying their hearts out here.
8-9, and Amy Welch, the sophomore, wants that one back. Well, that was Richardson, rather. It's hard to tell the 4 and the 44. Brenda Richardson. I'm sure she would like it back also. Now Missy Welch.
Great
Good
spike.
swing by Mansky, but another nice play by Smith down here to keep it going.
Mansky
another
again.
big hit, and Woodgate. Off the walls, of course, don't count.
Mansky is murder over there, Ralph. Go, Jefferson's got to figure out something to keep the ball away from that corner.
Margaret Wilson with a chance to even this one at 9, and just missing the far side. Substitution again. Donna Tasto coming in. Jill Haas will get a seat. And Tasto had 1 point this evening where she ran up 11 service points. That in game 2 en route to a 15-3 Jaguar victory. Ooh, what a big run be nice here if you're a Jaguar fan.
Great serve.
Woodgate up high. 10-8. Tasto. Good serve. Comes right back from Wilson. Ruff now for Woodgate again, and McKisson gets there to send it over. Ruff for sister, or rather that was Welch. Oh, I'm confused. Missy Welch and Amy Welch for the Kennedy Eagles.
I don't even know I can keep it straight with all the bodies diving around there.
At 11-8, the Kennedy Eagles take a timeout to slow up that Jaguar machine.
Woodgate making a nice play on that last point, Ralph. Off the good serve, no less. She didn't go. Woodgate went up. She didn't get the net. She got the ball in play. That's a tougher play than it looks.
Lots of volleyball action from the Bloomington Educational Center. So if you're out running around and you want to know what's happening, by God, call the school or call BEC-TV, and we'll tell you when these girls play next. Come on out and support them. It's a lot of fun to be here. Jaguars serving at 11-8 in game 5. Good tip by Silverman, but it comes right back from Woodgate. Now Missy Welch. Smith.
Here we go.
Ruff. Jaguars setting up McKisson.
Oh my. Nothing fancy about that.
12-8, Tasto with 2 points, and that one hit the net. 3 points, actually, as she came in at 9-8. And now it goes over to the Eagles.
I tell you what that does to a coach, Ralph.
That's why you're out of the coaching business, William? 7 Silverman for the Eagles serving. Now Ruff setting up Woodgate, and that one is way long.
Right now, the girls are a little pumped up there, Ralph. She tried to do too much with that ball.
9-12. Debbie Smith, Nikki Ruff, and Woodgate. Now Amy Welch for Silverman for the Eagles. Up front for Richardson. Everybody's diving, but the Eagles get the point. It's 10-12.
Tell you, Smith coming in a second too late. She knew where she was going. They had their big people up there. They had to go over the top. Jackie McKisson was up front. And what'd she go, about 6'1", would you say, Ralph?
Oh, yes.
6'1", so you got to get that ball up over her top of her hands when she jumps.
Credit, of course, again going to both coaching staffs for two real good programs. Terry Hunts, Bonnie Carlson, Todd Carlson for the Jefferson Jaguars, and for the Kennedy Eagles, Lori Johnson, Nancy Jimenez, and Linda Buccelli. 10 serving 12, the Kennedy Eagles. Nikki Silverman. They call her for 2 hits. It's 11-12.
Fatigue setting in a little bit on these ladies, Ralph.
Silverman again, Sunday from the back row. The ball's up high on the arms, and we're even at 12. Game 5. First team to 15 or win by 2. And Woodgate.
Oh, she got away with one.
You hear some yelling from some of the partisan Jaguar fans, but the ball's still live. Ruff now looking for McKisson, who plays it safe and deep for Brenda Richardson. Nikki Silverman for Amy Welch. And the ball is out.
Just out. We are seeing one whale of a volleyball game now.
Nikki Ruff at 12-12. Richardson. Ooh. And the third hit is good for the Kennedy Eagles. Now Ruff, McKisson again. Overzealous, but had the right idea. 12-12, they've swapped side outs, and Sheila Mansky will be serving.
Jackie's got to take a look. There was no one going up to block her shot on that one.
A bit too long, good eyes by Donna Testo, and McKisson goes to the service line. We're still even at 12.
Killer serve, you got to get that ball in, Ralph. We beat that point to death, I think, tonight.
Ooh, good bump by Brown. Now, Richardson, and it's 13-12 Jags.
Boy, did she get up, though.
Jackie McKisson at 13-12. Ooh, right to the net. Oh, and you can see Terry Hunt's put his head in his hands. He's driving him nutty over there. They play the Eagles twice this year and were beaten in 3 straight games each appearance. They're so close. They want this one so much, and it's 13-13 in Game 5. The next team to win 2 straight points over the other.
He needs a substitution or a timeout here, Ralph, just to get them back.
Amy Welch, McKisson chases it down. Nikki Ruff up front for Smith, and the Eagles keep it going. Great shot, but just out. 14-13. Kennedy Eagles will be serving for the match, but the Jaguars want to talk about it. Oh, baby.
Right now, Terry's got to be telling them to hang on. Make sure we get this ball up. Nothing fancy. Let's get this point.
The match now approaching 2 hours long.
I'd be looking to get the ball somewhere in the hands of Jackie, Ralph. McKisson or Debbie Smith.
Sophomore Amy Welch for the match. McKisson. Ruff setting. Smith. Ooh. Off the rafters.
Great play.
Jaguars stay alive.
Talk about a clutch hit. Great set.
Rhonda Woodgate in now to the game comes Jill Haas to take her spot at the front row, and Donna Testo sits. Woodgate trying to even it at 14. Mansky from the back row. Now it's set for Wilson. And Woodgate, Nikki Ruff. Smith sent it deep, did Debbie. Now Nikki Silverman for the Eagles. It's 14-all.
We got overtime. That's what you'd call it in volleyball, I guess, wouldn't you?
Fifth game. And at this point, the team to go ahead by 2 points will win it. But I'll tell you, Bill, I mean, we might be here a while.
These teams are really hustling, both of them, Ralph. It's going to be a heartbreaker for one of them. They both deserve to win this game the way they've been playing. Passing, bumping, they've been doing it all. Diving. The game started off in game one a little sluggish, but they have really picked it up. We are seeing some good volleyball here tonight.
Well, stay tuned, because immediately after the game, we're going to have one of the winning players from one of the winning clubs. It's going to be so much fun, you won't believe it. In person on BEC. 14-14 in game 5. Silverman setting it up. Richardson. And the Eagles run out of room. It'll be match point for the Jags.
Big serve. Look for a timeout, baby. Or they're going to let her go with it.
Rhonda Woodgate, smile on her face, serving for the net.
Oh, no! Unbelievable.
Missy Welch in for Kelly Brown. And the senior co-captain. Ruff. Smith, great
play. I think that was her only play, though, Ralph. The ball was too close to net for her to take a chance to spike it. Used her, great heads up thinking there.
Katie Sunday for the match. Ball's bumped.
Oh!
It's over. Jefferson Jaguars elated after beating the Kennedy Eagles in 5 games, 16-14, 15-3, 7-15, 13-7, 13-15, and finally 16-14. You see it there. The Jaguars over the Kennedy Eagles. More fun coming on BEC. Hang in there.
Let Nikki Ruff.
Jane makes her parents very proud. She's on the honor roll and plans to go to college. Starred in her class's last play. She plays clarinet in the school orchestra. Yes, Jane knows about drugs. In a way, she's lucky. She knows better. Some people don't realize that marijuana and driving don't mix. But Jane's brother reminds her every day that some trips last forever.
Welcome back to the Bloomington Educational Center. I'm Ralph Strangis with Billy Wall and our special guest, senior Nikki Ruff from the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. Nikki, a great 5-game victory over the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. Congratulations, you covered the floor all over the place tonight. They gave you trouble earlier in the season. What worked for you this evening?
Just to stick together and to fight. We usually lose our momentum, which we did, you know. We won the first 2 games, and then we always seem to lose it, but this time we fought all the way. We took it this time, so.
There were some nervous moments, and Billy, there was one real nervous moment for the Jaguars.
That's right. Nikki, what were you guys saying in the huddle when it came down to you were down 13-14? It was game point and they were serving. Your coach called a timeout. What were you guys saying in the huddle there?
Just to get that first pass up, then me try to set it and get our best hitter, our ready hitter, and try to get it to go down.
Well, it happened. What's in the future now for the Jefferson Jaguars? Only good things, I hope.
Yeah, only good things. Try to make it as far as we can. Play our best, stick together. Success.
Well, we wish you all the best. For Nikki Ruff and Bill Wall and Tom Ringdahl in the truck and all the other wonderful people at BEC, I'm Ralph Strangis reminding you again the Jefferson Jaguars took down the Kennedy Eagles 3-2. More fun upcoming on BEC's Volleyball 87. You just can't believe it. So stay around, will you?